Okay, welcome again. My name is Holly Block, Assistant Director for Recruitment. Welcome to all the newcomers. I'll be facilitating this info session and delivering an introduction before Professor Grazdina Yilmaz joins us. Professor Yilmaz is the Director of Pre-Health Pre-Med Advisement at the college. So if any of you are interested in pre-med, I recommend you contact her directly if you're planning to join us as a freshman or you're a current student. There are two pre-med advisors at the college. We have one in the Department of Biology, which is Professor Yilmaz, who's Director of Health Pre-Med Advisement. And we also have Dr. Xuanyang Xu, who is in the Department of Chemistry. He's also the pre-med advisor in that department. So if you want to get multiple opinions, I recommend you speak to them both, but speak to Professor Yilmaz first. So let's talk a little bit about the college. I noticed many of you are interested in our honors programs, and you are local from our local high schools. Some of you are current students, so welcome everyone. Little factoids about the college that you might not already know. So CSI is a unique campus in CUNY, and it's the largest campus in the 5 boroughs, public or private. And we're also promoted as the best study abroad program in CUNY by the Welcome Center. We have the most affiliate programs. So if you're interested in an honors program, once you have 15 credits, you can study abroad. You can even earn scholarships for that. If you're at Macaulay or Verrazano, Macaulay basically makes you study abroad. So expect to be going abroad. I recommend a professor-led trip. Those are the best, where you have the guidance of a professor. And you can even apply for scholarship money. 3.25 GPA or higher is the magic number to apply for merit scholarships at the college. Macaulay has the Opportunities Program, which allows you to apply for up to $1,500 in study abroad funds. We are also a diverse campus. CUNY is probably one of the most diverse universities in the entire world. We represent over 80 different countries here at CSI, and you can see it all over our campus, and we're very proud of that. There's a lot of ways to fit in also at the college. So I just wanted to point out, the trip to Costa Rica is the nursing program. Anyone interested in nursing, they go abroad during the winter session. That is in between the end of December to the 3rd week of January. Also, Macaulay Honors biology students, it's very popular to go to the Galapagos Islands to study abroad, to study the unique ecosystems there. Also, we have a great trip to Florence, Italy over the summer. So any of these study abroad opportunities are open to you, and some students will study abroad more than once. You can study abroad multiple times. And you can also study abroad with some of the other CUNYs if there's a different program that you want from another CUNY college. But we have the most different and diverse opportunities to study abroad. So CSI is considered a STEM and research powerhouse. We have excellent STEM as well as health science programs, as well as the sciences. So that includes chemistry and biology. We are considered a stepping stone to med school. Our students get jobs in these areas. We'll talk about a little bit of that as we get into our presentation. A little bit about the tuition. Currently, our tuition without financial aid, which hasn't changed since 2019, is $6,930 a year. That's without financial aid. So about 60% of our students do receive financial aid, and that brings your cost per year even lower than $6,930, which is cheaper than most private high schools. About 80% of our students graduate debt-free. So if you're not paying for housing, which is an out-of-pocket expense, you can basically graduate to little with no debt. Macaulay Honors students graduate with little to no debt. You cannot put a price tag on that. Our honors programs are worth at least $50,000 a year, and you're getting all that for less than $6,930. Macaulay Honors students also have a full tuition scholarship, so you're paying nothing for your undergraduate experience except for the activity fee and the tech fee, which is about $200 a year. You can see our competitors are way more in tuition. The blue bar is tuition only, and the red bar is room and board plus tuition. So if you're looking to live on a college campus, room and board costs are often in a separate place on the website, different from where the tuition is. So you have to search for both. So if you see one cost for tuition, that usually doesn't include room and board. Room and board is often an out-of-pocket expense. It's not covered by financial aid. So you have to lay out that money. Any college will give you a loan for that money. It costs usually about $15,000 to $20,000 extra to live on a college campus. I recommend you save all that money and you won't graduate with debt. So I'll give you an example. $15,000 to $20,000 is what it costs each year to live in Dolphin Cove. That's our on-campus living housing, which is high end. It's more apartment style living. So to have a private room, it's going to cost around $16,000. Usually the financial aid office, they have a built-in financial aid person in Dolphin Cove. They will encourage you to take out the entire loan, which is around $20,000. So if you're living on campus for 4 years and taking out that loan, if you do the math, you'll be graduating with $80,000 in debt with just your bachelor's. So I imagine most of you will want to go on for your graduate degree, including a doctoral degree if you're looking to get into a professional school in medicine or in the health sciences. And you figure it's going to cost upwards of $130,000, much more for medical school, probably double that if you're going on for professional school. So the object is to save as much money as you possibly can during your bachelor's, your undergrad portion of your academic career. You can definitely do that at CSI. As you can see, it is a fraction of the cost of our competitors. The application is free right now. So I just put that in the chat from October 21st through November 15th for New York City public schools. If you are from a non-New York City public school, the application is free from November 4th till November 15th. It only takes 20 minutes to complete the application, all online. If you're filing the special application to Macaulay, it's 2 essays chosen from the list. I put the website. You have to go to the Macaulay website to file the Macaulay application. 2 essays chosen from the list, 2 letters of recommendation, which your mentors and recommenders will upload separately, and your SAT scores if you choose to submit them. So we are test optional till spring 2027. Our Macaulay academic profile was a 1350 or higher on the SAT. That was last year's profile, the class of 2028. For the Verrazano School, which is a slightly lower academic profile, we were looking at a 1100 and higher for the SAT. Both programs carry merit scholarships, with Macaulay being the full tuition scholarship. So we encourage you to file that application without cost. We have a great campus life also. We have more of a SUNY feel on our campus than a CUNY feel because of the way it's laid out. We have parkland, meadows. It's very pastoral. There's plenty of things to do. We have over 50 clubs. We encourage you to join the club associated with your major. So biology has several clubs, including a pre-med club, and it's a great way to network, to meet people, make friends. Also, there might be some internship or job networking opportunities. So highly recommended that you join the club associated with your major first and foremost, and then you could even branch out into several other clubs also. If you don't see the club you want, you are encouraged to form your own. 6 people to join. Mission statement, meeting schedule, the campus activities board will give you money and office space to get started. A little bit about programs. We have 47 undergraduate majors, another 17 master's degree programs, and another 3 doctoral programs. And then we have another 6 doctoral programs in cooperation with the CUNY Graduate School. We have distinguished faculty. If you notice that your professor is teaching in the CUNY Graduate School, that means they are utmost experts in their field and they are actively researching also. So they're renowned in their field. We have many professors that also teach at the Graduate Center, including the chair of biology, Dr. Chang-Wei Shen. We are one of 3 colleges in CUNY that can award their own doctoral program, their own doctoral degree. The other 2 are Hunter and City College. So we're right up there with Hunter and City. And we literally have something for everyone. We are the only college in CUNY that can award an associate, a bachelor's, a master's, and a doctoral degree. This is our overhead view of campus. And our campus is 204 acres, the largest in the 5 boroughs, public or private. You could see how expansive it is. It's about a mile from end to end. And it takes about 18 to 20 minutes to walk from one end to the other. Parking, if anyone's driving to campus, parking is usually about $100 for the parking permit. And if you opt to park in lot 6 only, you can get a break at $68. This is our state-of-the-art resources on campus. So upper left is our library. And lower left is Center for the Arts. That's where our open house is going to be held on November 2nd. Upper right is our Sports and Rec Center, and our lower left is the Campus Center, which is a student-owned building. You can partake in the virtual tour at csi.cuny.edu/vtour. This is Dolphin Cove. This is our on-campus living. So if you live locally and you can commute to campus, I recommend that you save that money. And if you want the on-campus living experience, if you can save up about $10,000, do it in your senior year where you won't graduate with that much debt. And we are high-end apartment style living. The upper left, the bedroom, that's a full bed for the private room, which is rare. If you're shopping around, you'll see that this is very luxurious, high-end apartment style living. It's open to other college students that are full-time in CUNY also. All the furniture is included. So in the upper right is the living room area you can see with the furniture. There's a small kitchen area and a dinette, a small dinette area, full working kitchen. We also have our 3 honors programs. So the best fit, actually all 3 are a good fit for biology majors. So let's start with the right. The Teacher Education Honors Academy teaches students to become highly trained math and science teachers. So if you're majoring in biology or chemistry, physics or earth science, you can become a member of the Teacher Education Honors Academy. Everyone gets jobs and there's scholarship money involved. You can also join TEHA, Teacher Education Honors Academy, for short, TEHA, with Macaulay. So you can get the full tuition scholarship. We also have the Verrazano School, which is our local honors program. There's slightly less money involved than Macaulay. Macaulay's a full tuition scholarship. Verrazano is a partial scholarship. Usually there are opportunities to earn additional scholarship money for Verrazano students throughout their college career. The academic profiles vary slightly. So Macaulay Honors, there are 8 colleges in CUNY that offer Macaulay. CSI is one of them. And last year we got about close to 350 applications, and which was a record. We make the offer each year, 60 to 65 students. We cut the interview off at a 95 GPA. Like I said, if you have a 90 GPA or higher, please consider applying because the pool varies from year to year. So for us to consider you, you have to be in the pool. So 90 or higher, you can also apply at the same time to the Verrazano School, which is a supplementary application on our website. So you can apply to Macaulay, complete the application by November 15th, which is a hard deadline. And like I said, 2 letters of recommendation, 2 essays chosen from the list, SAT scores, which are optional. It won't impact your application if you choose not to submit your SAT scores. It won't impact your application. So like I said, look at the academic profile. We had a 1350 or higher for Macaulay, 1100 or higher for Verrazano. If you're within that window, I recommend you submit your scores. We are also NCAA Division II sports at CSI. Only 2 colleges in CUNY are Division II, Queens College and CSI. We compete in the East Coast Conference. We also have the swim team, which competes in the NEC, the Northeast Conference. And we have 7 men's sports, 7 women's sports. If you compete at your high school right now, if you're competitive, competing on a team, let us know, let me know, and I will make an appointment with the respective coach to meet with them. Professor Yilmaz, are you ready for us tonight? Good evening.
Hi, Holly. How is everyone doing? Yes, I am ready. So whenever
Excellent.
I
Thank
can,
you so much for joining us.
of course. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'll start with talking about biology, and I'll talk in general pre-health and what it means when you are applying to professional schools. There will be important questions that you will have in mind when you are applying, and I'll try to cover all these aspects so that you are familiar when you are going to colleges and when you're asking for information about a pre-health to know what you need to look for. Now, I just want to describe your path to professional school. And I like this because the path of professional school does not go from high school to professional school, whatever you decide to do. You have to pass through college. All right. So you are in this stage right now where you're looking for college education. Now, that step is crucial because a lot of times we do have the latest statistics, and 60 to 70% of students that actually start in pre-med do not end up finishing pre-med. So what you do in college is so important to actually make you succeed into your last stage. All right. So selecting college, what I'm trying to say is selecting college shouldn't be that complicated and that involved, because it really doesn't matter which college you go to, as long as you get a bachelor degree in any field and if you fulfill certain requirements. All medical schools will take you, all professional schools will take you, as long as you have a good GPA and you have done everything that like professional schools expect you to do during your undergraduate career. So it is very important that you don't only look for the name of the college that you go to, but you look for the opportunities that you'll be given to do things in that college. So things that will matter during your undergraduate career, it will be your GPA number one. So grades are important. Study, study, study. So going away from home to a college that is far away from where you live is not always a good idea, because you will have to be responsible for a lot of other things in your life that are not necessarily related to your school, and that may lead to suffering of your GPA. Research opportunities. Does the college that you're going to go to offer and have availability for you to be in a research lab? Now, I have to tell you that CSI, and specifically in biology department, our students are actually doing all of our experiments. We don't have that many graduate students. So if you are a researcher student in our college, you'll be doing a lot of experiments you with the professor. So research, we do have a lot of opportunities that are hands-on for undergraduate students. We do have, like, if you have a possibility to come to our open houses, please come and check our facilities. I'm hoping that I've seen some of you already in the tours that we offer. We do have a very advanced microscopy lab with electron microscope that is very rare to be present in a research university. We do have a very advanced genomics. We do have neuroscience lab. Everything is at the very high levels, and you are doing all the research. We do have animal facility, which works with a lot of neuroscience projects. So again, a lot of the research is done with students. Now, after the research and the GPA, you do have to complete your entrance exam. So for medical school, that will be an MCAT. For dental school will be DAT. For optometry school will be OAT. And for PA school and pharmacy school, some pharmacy schools will require GRE or PCAT exam. So that is very important, because what you need to know is, will the school prepare you for those exams? Obviously, schools are not there, colleges are not there to specifically prepare you for those exams. But I have to tell you that, and I will talk about that a little bit later, that our students, and I'll point out to these two exams, DAT and MCAT, because those are exams that are very challenging exams, MCAT for medical school and DAT for dental school. Students that complete our biology major without any preparation, sit for the exam. Average accepted student with MCAT score last year was about 509. Student without a prep can easily score 500. Most of our students, like right after they graduate, before they start studying, prep exam is between 495 to 500 without studying. So that means that our programs are rigorous enough to prepare you for those exams. In addition to that, you do have to do two additional that are extracurricular activities that are not part of your school, and that will be volunteer services and community service. Now, if you do go away, if your college campus is in the middle of nowhere, where there is no hospital in the close vicinity, forget about volunteer service in the hospital, and there will be no opportunities for you to be in the hospital setting. And this is an essential component. That actually, the way that medical schools rank you is based on your volunteer hours. So you have to be part of a major city where hospitals are in a close vicinity, that you can actually be part of the hospital setting while undergraduate. I have a lot of students actually over the summer. I spoke with a couple of students from Cornell, and Cornell is a great school, right? Like everyone wants to go there, but unfortunately in the middle of nowhere, they can only volunteer during the summer. Summertime is limited. Things that they can do is limited. And unfortunately, this part of their application makes a big cut into the way that they are ranked by medical schools, because obviously you're not going to be able to put that many hours. Community service, medical schools and professional schools want you to be part of community service. For physician assistant pre-PA students, you do need to be in a hospital setting for more than 1,000 hours. So if you don't have a hospital in the vicinity of your college, just forget about this place, because you will not be able to actually succeed in the final stage where you want to be. So our college is situated in a perfect spot. We work with two institutions that are on Staten Island, Staten Island University Hospital and Richmond Medical Center. Both accept our students, and both develop sense of community with our students because they put them into work. They really show you what it is to be part of the healthcare setting. We do have a mentorship program with Statna University Hospital where we have 40 physicians that mentor you throughout your undergraduate study. This is very difficult to find. Not only you'll be in the hospital setting early on, but you'll also be mentored by a doctor that may be in the field that you want to work in the future, which guarantees your success in your final stage, getting to your professional school. And this mentorship program is available for PA students, is available for dental students, is available for all pre-health, not just medical students. I'm just talking, when I say medical students, think about pre-health, because the way we design our programs is to target all the pre-health students, not just medical students, but all pre-health. So that is going to be important. All these steps are extremely important. So rigorous preparation, enough for you to be able to get to the GPA that you want. You need to have exposure to research, be prepared for your passing your dental professional exams, have the opportunity for volunteer in community service to get to the final stage, which is your medical school. Now, if we look at the statistics from the Association of the American Medical Colleges, you can see that for the past year, we have the data for 22-23, 23-24 cycle is not out yet completely. They're still kind of like in the process of accessing that data, but around 60% of people that are in a pre-med major are selecting biological sciences. That is not a surprise because as part of biology major, you'll be able to take subjects such as virology, immunology, pathophysiology, anatomy and physiology, all subjects that will be the core of your first and second year, the didactic years of professional school. Same thing for PA education. PA education is essentially a medical school condensed into 2 years. So the first year is the didactic year, which is very stressful, and you just have to study a lot of science. And again, that is something that biology as a major will prepare you. So again, about 60% of candidates will come from biological sciences. Other very popular majors are psychology, chemistry to some extent, and the rest are kind of like less likely, but also not a problem for you to choose. So if you, let's say you're very good at English and you want English to be your major, there's nothing wrong with that. We are actually trying to come up with a minor in health sciences that will allow you to complete the pre-required classes for all your professional schools, so that actually you can be some other major in financial aid will cover, or that will be covered as part of the package. So, but for right now, we do have biology and psychology that both fits all these pre-required classes. Now, more specifically, in biology, we have designed a major that will allow you to fulfill the requirements not for one specific pre-health major like medicine, but you will fulfill the requirements for all pre-health majors, such as physician assistant, pharmacy, optometry, and they have a very diverse requirements. They're not the same. So it's very important that you select a major that will fit all these required classes, so you don't have to stay additional in college to fulfill those requirements. And in biology, you will be able to do this while you are in undergraduate. This is another very important thing because not all the colleges will offer that. They may offer some classes that will be part of your major, but other classes you will have to take as part of electives that may not necessarily fit in your major. So it is something that is still not in your mind, but the availability of major that can fulfill this. And remember, there is no such a thing as pre-professional, pre-health major. There is no pre-med major. Pre-med major is a concentration, it's an advisement, but there is no specific major. So you have to select a major that will let you fulfill those requirements. And even though right now it's not in your mind yet, it will soon be something that you have to be concerned about selecting a major. And in our college, we do offer that. Now, what is different about our college and the pre-professional advisement is that we do have a group of 7 faculty members that are all part of your pre-professional advisement. So this pre-professional advisement does not only require people from biology, but they require expertise from philosophy department, from chemistry department. And we have created a group of professionals, faculty, that are dedicated to that. So we have a person from philosophy department, we have a person from math department, from biology department. We all have some experience in health science. But more importantly, I'm a healthcare professional myself. This is my contact information and my name. And I am dedicated to submit all my time to you so that I can guide you to become that healthcare professional. For me, it's very important to keep students in healthcare. So if medical education does not work because there is an area that suffers, we always find a position for you in other healthcare fields like pharmacy, a PA. Maybe it's a nursing or to nurse practitioner. You will remain in healthcare. I make sure that if healthcare is something that is in your list, you will become a healthcare provider. And this is very important because in other colleges, you may not necessarily have the ability to work with healthcare professional. You will see the healthcare professionals in your didactic phase or in your professional school. But when you're undergraduate, you will not likely be to work with healthcare professional. And this really changes the outcome. The way you are guided, the way you are supported into this really changes. So it is important to look for that in the colleges that you are selecting. Now, in our college, again, just want to go back to the testing, the areas that the MCAT has, you can see that like more than half of the exam is focused on biological and chemical sciences. So biochemistry in particular, which is the biological aspect of chemistry. So again, our program is very rigorous and you will prepare you for that aspect. At the end of your career with CSI or College of Staten Island, we do provide a mock interview that allows you to practice for your actual pre-med or pre-dental or a pre-optometry interview. And during that time, you will have an ability to really practice because all of our committee members will be there and they'll ask you questions and it will allow you to practice for your actual interview. We do give you feedback in terms of how to do better. And we issue what's known a committee letter. A committee letter is a merge letter that supports your application and it comes from our college to support your application. This is an extremely important letter that helps the entire process of your pre-professional career. Not all the colleges offer that, so it is something that you may want to ask. Again, also not only that if they offer that, but what is the process to get involved? Right? There are some even CUNY schools that make it very difficult to be part of that pre-health advisement. If you have to commit to this your sophomore year and you do nothing until your junior year, you may not be entitled to get a committee letter. So these are some things that you have to inquire and make sure that you are aware of what they are in terms of your application process. Now, in terms of biology major, as I said, we recently did a lot of changes with biology major. And we have created the general biology track that will allow you to fulfill all pre-health requirement needs. It will also prepare you for graduate school, but also with ability to score good GPA. We also have a special tracks, which is ecology, evolution, and molecular cell biology, which allows you to get a concentration within biological sciences. We do have a very involved neuroscience department as well as medical lab science. Medical lab science is where you become a healthcare lab worker. The starting salary was more than 70,000 for these people last year, and it is an undergraduate major that you can complete a bachelor degree and 100% job placement of all of our graduates that came out and graduated this past cycle. So it is a very popular major that a lot of students can select to do as an undergraduate to become that healthcare provider. Now, remember, medical lab science is an end degree, meaning that you will obtain a medical license for working in a lab field. And we never recommend that you become a different provider if you're in a path of becoming a doctor or a dentist. Just be a general biology major. But if you are not sure and you may want to explore medical lab science before you go back into start practicing, then you may get your license in medical lab science, work a few years, and then come back and maybe study PA. PA, for example, I really like when you're a different provider and then you become a PA, they give you credit for that. But for medical school, this does not work. So it's very important that people that advise you give you this information also like when you are preparing or selecting a pre-med major. Now, we also offer in biology the combined degree, BSMS, in 5 years. So you can start taking graduate level class in your 4th year, and you can graduate with MS in 5 years. And that is for general bio as well as neuroscience. So again, the the 3 tracks that we offer in neuroscience with neurodegenerative diseases. This is like a very popular track. We do have a lot of research going on in neuroscience. We do have Alzheimer is one of the top researchers, Dr. Alonso. She works with tau protein. We do have autism research, Dr. Elidrisi in the animal facility. Also, we have some of the psychology faculty that also works with that. We have the genomic facility, Dr. Shen, and we have the imaging facility, Dr. Phillips. All are state-of-the-art research, and you can be involved in all this research while undergraduate. We do have like a biotechnology as well, and we offer some ecology labs, such as climate change. We do have a specialist in birds, Dr. Mitcher. He does research on the fields on Staten Island. We have Dr. Dick V, who actually traveled to Antarctica for an exhibition or last summer. And that was very popular. We did have 2 undergraduate students that travel with them. We have a marine biology, Dr. Bill Wallace, very, very involved biology department. We have 24 full-time faculty members that are dedicated to work with you. Now, if we look at the statistics of medical school applicants for the 22-23 cycle, we will see that the average MCAT score was about 506 of students that apply and 511 from students that were accepted. Now, the average GPA was 3.76 of the apply and accepted was 3.84. If we look at how this compares to our graduates, our average GPA of pre-health students last cycle was 3.72. Average MCAT was 507. Average DAT was 21, which is very comparable to what most of the professional schools actually accept. We did have this past cycle, and again, like for 24 cycle, 23-24 cycle, official data from AMC is not out yet. But in our college, we only had 1 student that didn't make it this past cycle. Everybody else got accepted. And more notably, 2 of the students got a full tuition scholarship from NYU. So this shows you that our college prepares you and has the rigor to actually prepare you to succeed in professional school. We do have 4 students from the same cohort that were accepted at NICOM, which is a DO school. But it's interesting because this school in particular accepts multiple students from the same cohort because they do know that our students are very well prepared and they succeed. Not only that they go through our program, but they succeed in professional school and do very well. So these are some of our graduates that what happens after they get out with us. So we have some of them are dental school. This is our Staten Island University Hospital mentoring program with the doctors and students together. We do have this social event that we do once every semester. Here are some of our graduates that are PAs during their white coat ceremony. They already practice in some of the hospitals in New York City area. And someone that we are very proud of, this is Safa Noor, who actually graduated from our program. She's a PA. She just finished her doctorate education and she started the first Muslim club for the national chapter for the PA, and she's doing very, very good. But like our students are not only leaders within CSI, but they're leaders once they leave CSI. So she's doing very good and we are very proud of her. Let me see. So this is her with like intubating or learning how to intubate a patient. And it was interesting because she started with a very poor skills. In my physiology lab, she did some dissection of frogs. And look at her, she just intubated someone so quickly. These are some of the events of students that are done on campus. So we have a wonderful campus and you guys get to use all the facilities. So there are a lot of presentations, a lot of events. This is the pre-med club doing a bake sale for breast cancer awareness. And actually, some of those students are already, she's a PA, he's a doctor already. So some of them are already very advanced. There's another event for epidermolysis bullosa. So that's what I wanted to share with you. And I will leave now some time for questions that you guys may have. So for the DPT program that we offer, we actually are in the process of working for assurance, like seat assurance within the program with the DPT program. So they promise that they will give a 5 guaranteed seats for our school. But so far, if you have done all the requirements for our biology major, I wanted to say, not just the school, but biology major. So if you are interested in our DPT program, going through biology major and making sure that you make yourself known to faculty so that you can meet your graduate school professors early really helps. So make sure when you come to college, introduce yourself, and again have faculty from biology introduce you to the physical therapy, because remember, physical therapy is a professional school, so a lot of times you don't get to work directly with this faculty, so there will be an introductory phase where you will get to meet them. I'm currently actually working with a physical therapy department. We're doing research on neurogenic bladder and spinal cord injury patients, which is like very interesting research. But again, that is going to be a time of adjustment or time of meeting. So make sure you let the faculty know so that you get introduced. Another thing that I would like to say is that if you're planning a social work has a master degree, but the beauty of our school is that it was one of the first schools that was accredited for social work. And this is like a little bit away from what I was planning to do, because I'm more focused on the like medicine and PA and nursing. But I want to say that like social work is a very upcoming field, and you have the opportunity of finishing not only masters, but you can do your masters while you're undergraduate. You start taking professional classes in your undergraduate, because our program was designed initially at undergraduate level. You will not find that in multiple locations. This is unique for our school, and I highly recommend, especially if you're not sure. Let's say your grades are not that good, and I'm not saying that social work requires less rigorous education, not, but like 3.0 may not get you into a medical school, but that will be perfect grade for becoming a social work. And social work is a master's degree where you can actually get a mental health certificate, which with the advancement and the increased numbers of mental health, this is really becoming something as like a valuable field to be in. So let me just go. Macaulay program is wonderful. Please, guys, if you are considering Macaulay, apply by the deadline. And if you offer it, don't think about anything else. No private school will give you what Macaulay gives you. I cannot talk enough about Macaulay. If, however, Macaulay does not, you don't make it into Macaulay, because Macaulay can be rigorous. It may not be, they may not accept you. But we do have a Verrazano, wonderful opportunity. You have early assurance. Verrazano and Macaulay students often take the same classes. So please take Verrazano. It's not less than Macaulay. It's just both are great honors programs, and they're very, very good. So if you all get offered a seat, I guarantee you, I cannot talk enough about Macaulay and the opportunities that you're going to get. You get to have an advisor that works with you one-to-one throughout your education, number one. Number two, you get to pick the classes first thing from Macaulay. And next thing is that as a Macaulay student, you're actually allowed to take graduate level courses in the different institutions. So it's so important. Like they gives you opportunities that you will never be able to find anywhere. No program will do that. Just think about the fact that Macaulay is not a CSI, but it's a CUNY project. All right. And Macaulay is the honors project of CUNY. So if you are accepted and you're one of those 200 students that accept within the entire class, I think, right, Holly? I forgot the number of students, 200 or 300 total students throughout the campuses. It is something like that they accept. But if you're one of those students, you are selected among 240,000 through the campuses. So that's how many students we have in all over campuses. It's like very highly prestigious, and it is good.
What was the question, Gosdina? Sorry, I
How
missed the
many
front.
total students do they have?
245,000 degree-seeking students in the university.
245. And how many accepted in Macaulay? 300 is the class size?
Macaulay, we get over 5,000 applications. We have, and the seats vary from campus to campus. I think it's a little bit higher than 300 for the entire 8 colleges that carry the program. And it varies because we made the offer to 60 and we got 45 students out of that 60 last year for the class of 2028. So we can have as many as 60 depending on what Macaulay Central decides to allow us to make the offer to the
Yeah,
student.
that's a great opportunity. But yes, if you get offered the Macaulay seat, this is a gold seat. Do not miss it. Do not turn it down, because you are a great student. So like anyone applying to Macaulay will probably get offers from other places, but no college will offer what Macaulay does. So don't turn down that seat. And remember that many people will be very, very appreciative of that seat. So for you to have that opportunity, don't just keep it. Now, there was a question here about study abroad. Very good question, actually. Macaulay offers like some tuition scholarship that helps you with study abroad. But like not only that, we do offer study abroad like in variety of fields. As a Macaulay, there are so many opportunities, and I can tell you because, okay, so my son is actually part of Macaulay, and he is currently finishing his senior year, and he is doing study abroad in England. Obviously, we did have to pay some difference because Macaulay did not cover all of it, but he did have a pretty good scholarship for that. And it really helps. But you do have opportunity to study abroad in England, in France. You have an opportunity to study abroad in Morocco. Actually, there is a medical internship. We are actually in a process of maybe developing another medical internship that will be between Turkey, Greece, and Bulgaria. But yeah, there is so many opportunities for study abroad, and not only Macaulay students, but I think all students have to experience this as part of their undergraduate education because it is such a important experience. It gives you a lot of opportunities to see different culture and to live in that culture for a period of time. Very, very unique. Again, and you're not going to get that in many places. But actually, it's like we were looking at the latest statistics. Only about 10 to 15% of students all over the country get to do the study abroad. And our actually Macaulay students, 100% of them do some sort of study abroad because they can use their scholarship fund toward this opportunity. Now, if you are into a PA track and you then decide to go into medical, of course you can decide to go into medical school. Okay, if you're a pre-med, you may go into a PA track. We've had that because like let's say your MCAT score is not good, but your GPA is good and you have a lot of healthcare hours, you can definitely switch. But like hopefully by your sophomore, like end of sophomore year, beginning of junior year, we should have like finalized what field to decide. Medical school GPA should be around 3.8, 3.9, definitely. If it falls below 3.5, there may be something we may have to decide to do, like to consider with you. But yeah, we have the animal facility, which is great. Again, guys, Macaulay honors is great, but if you don't make it into Macaulay honors, consider Verrazano. Verrazano is great. We have a joint degree with 3 schools, actually. We have a joint degree with pharmacy or University of Buffalo. We do have joint degree with optometry, SUNY, which is in the city. And we do have a joint degree with St. George's, which is a medical school in Caribbean. So we offer all these joint degree programs that you can still apply even after you get accepted in our college. But if you apply before and you get secured seat, you will have to have a guaranteed seat in our college before you actually get that guaranteed seat for you. English. So yeah, some people are doing English major. No, that's a great say. Also look into science as a teacher because like I think English can serve as pre-education major, and a lot of our teachers college is all honors college, which you can become a teacher in high school students.
There's a couple
Here,
of
Holly, are you?
questions in the chat. So for Macaulay Honors, what do the admissions committee, what do they look for in the essay? So the essay should be a transformative experience. It asks you to write about something that impacted your life. So you want to write about something that was significant in your life that really changed it. So the other one is, why do you want to be a Macaulay Honors student? The application is due, hard deadline of November 15th, and you have a little extra time to get your letters of recommendation in and your essays. But I recommend you try to get everything in by the 15th. Don't wait to the 15th because so many people tried to upload their applications at once on that day that the website shut down. So try to get the application in early and then get your supporting documents in after that.
Since they removed the SAT requirement, I think it's very important, not only the essay for your interview, but also the interview itself. So they're looking at people, students that have a diverse experience during their high school. So you have volunteered, you have committed yourself to service, all right? But not only one type of service, but like multiple and variety of those. So maybe you worked in a soup kitchen, maybe you worked, I can share my son's background, like what he did. He volunteered in the hospital. He volunteered in an organization called God Love We Deliver, which is essentially an organization that prepares balanced meal for corneal patients. So he did that. And because he's very involved in music, he does not like health science, but he did all that because in the hospital, he actually volunteered in pediatric department where he played guitar for children in pediatric floor, or he did God Love We Deliver. As I said, this is an organization that prepares this big concert around Christmas time with iHeartRadio, and it is a very interesting experience. And he got to meet a lot of interesting people. So he actually wrote about that in his essay about the fact that he met some of because the God Love We Deliver started as like an organization that was supporting HIV patients that turned into like renal patients and diabetic patients and all sorts of chronic illnesses. But their building is in the city, and there are a lot of famous people that volunteer there. So if you go to volunteer there, you may run into someone that is like really famous that is just dedicating their time there. So he got to meet some interesting people, and he got to talk about that during his essay. But as a biology, again, it will be important that you've been part of the hospital, even though it may not be that much allowed because you are underage. So that was his problem, that he was underage and he couldn't really like be part of the hospital for as many hours. But like he was allowed to at least do some work in the hospital. And again, like just look for meaningful experiences that are kind of connected. So everything has to be diverse, but yet connected to the same idea or same topic. So think of something that really interests you. So if you're a biology major, maybe it's birds. If you are interested in marine animals, maybe it's that. You did diverse experiences that are related to that. So that's what they're looking for in application. And in your essay, you have to kind of like combine all these experiences and show it. So we will make sure that your application is diversified with variety of experiences throughout your undergraduate, so that when you start applying to professional school, you'll have a good resume.
Grazdina, I recommended that everyone consider applying to Macaulay if you have the 90 GPA or higher, because you have to be in that pool in order to be considered. So 90 and up is what we've been advised to. And this is from the Macaulay directors. They said 90 and up, feel free to apply. Also, if you think you're borderline, with your GPA, file also the supplementary application to Verrazano, so you cover both bases.
My question was for the application after like we submit it, and if you get accepted, is there like an interview afterwards?
Is this for Macaulay you're asking?
Yes.
Yes, so the answer is yes, there is an interview. Besides the application to Macaulay, the special application, plus 2 letters of rec, plus your 2 essays, and plus your optional SAT scores, CSI has an interview. We cut the interview off at a 3.5 GPA and offered it to 125 students last year. But the pool varies from year to year, so it depends. It might not be a 95 if the pool is slightly lower. If you're called in for the interview, that means that we're especially considering you for the offer. And usually that interview occurs starting in mid-December through January. We make the decision on March 15th, and everybody is notified who applied.
Yes, so during the interview, they will ask you questions about all these experiences that we just discussed. So like what you have done in your high school that was meaningful to you. Essentially what you wrote into your essay, but more in details. And also think about the fact that you don't have to necessarily be a biology major when you are an incoming student as a Macaulay or any incoming student. You don't have to have a certain major. You may not be decided on your major. Maybe you are interested in music right now. Maybe it's something that you would like. Remember that Macaulay is not just for biology. Macaulay is for the entire college. So they would like to have a diversity of applicants.
Yes. They also choose a mostly local clientele. So, if you're from a local high school, I think that works really well for you. And if you have an unusual major, say like philosophy or women's studies, that also can work in your favor if our program is trying to make a quota. That doesn't mean that you should switch to that if your heart is set on biology. So you can major in anything you want. Actually, as long as you're taking the prereqs, you can major in anything you want, but we recommend biology because it's specially geared towards pre-med, pre-health students. If you want to double major, that's common with Macaulay Honors students because they have a full tuition scholarship. So you can take as many credits as you want during the fall and spring semesters. As a result, some students will double major, some will double minor, and we even have some that double major and double minor. If you're a good student, you can handle that workload. So consider it. It looks great on your resume if you have multiple degrees.
Yes, that definitely helps diversity and having something unique under your experience.
Can you submit more than 2 letters of recommendation? Yes, not necessary, but yes, you can do that. Last year, they actually, or the year before, they changed it. They had 2 letters of recommendation plus a special recommendation letter from a mentor. So that's not necessary anymore. But I would say if you want to submit additional supplementary supporting documents, such as your resume, you can definitely do that. So if you have multiple mentors besides the 2, you can definitely submit them. If they're very favorable, absolutely.
And Holly, maybe you can talk a little bit about the ranking of how Macaulay students are ranked, like in terms of colleges, campuses, and all that, like, right, in terms of GPA and competitiveness.
Yes. So the 8 colleges that offer Macaulay, the acceptance rate vary from campus to campus. So the lowest is probably Baruch, which is less than 10%. Hunter has more seats. They've got a little over 100 seats, I believe. We have basically 40, but we make an offer to usually 60 or more every year. So we can have a class as big as 60. The acceptance rate for our program dropped from a 26% rate in 2022 to a 16% rate in 2023 because the pool was so strong. So like I said, the pool varies from year to year, but our odds are generally better for CSI to be accepted. Also, the application is set up so you get 6 choices, but all 8 colleges only look at a first choice pool of applicants. So if you put CSI second, CSI will not look at your application. You'll be admitted to our baccalaureate program, definitely. So you'll be admitted to all 6 colleges, everyone who applies, most likely. But you have to commit to your first choice for Macaulay. So we will only look at your first choice, what you place on your application. Yeah, thank you for all those questions. That was great. Before we wrap, do we have any other questions? Feel free to contact either Professor Yilmaz or myself if you have any questions post-event, and we'll stay in touch with you. We hope you file the free application starting from now till November 15th and also from November 4th to November 15th. I put that in the chat, so please take advantage of that. We hope you have a great evening and we will be in touch.
If there's any questions,
so
feel
much.
free to reach out. I shared my contact information. So we'll see you guys. We hope to see you in our programs and maybe in open houses. Bye. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone. Thanks so much, Christina. That was great.